Right, we're recording.
Okay, well, good evening, colleagues. Welcome to the meeting of the Executive Cabinet Member Deputy Leader Portfolio. First item on the agenda is monitoring of Exec Cabinet Member decisions. Councillor Wilkinson.
Yeah, can I just refer to the last item, pride in place, the money?
Yeah.
You know, I asked a couple of questions about it last time. Not go through all that again. But can I just ask? I don't think I don't know if Mr. Dyson's here. I don't know. Never mind. I did ask where, you know, how we were spending it, particularly about one particular pot, which I thought, oh, I can get my hands on some of this. Can do some work in West Orton with it. So this morning, I had a bit of casework from somebody about a bridge, and it fell under the one of the the funding headings of this pot of money. So I emailed the officer and I said, oh, maybe you could have a look at this pot of money. And the officer came back and said, what's this money? Now, considering it's an actual item of expenditure, quite a nice little chunk, I would have thought before we shove them into these budget headings, we might actually speak to the poor bugger who's doing the donkey work on the coal face and say, how would you like to spend some of this money, and actually have some thought behind it? And I'll be quite honest about this. I wasn't convinced about some of the answers last time about who had asked who's spoken to who. And when I get an answer where an officer says, what money? I've never heard of it. I'm definitely more convinced that some people were giving us a lot of waffle at the last meeting. That's my point of view on that one.
So, I mean, are we talking about the pride in place 1.5 million?
Yes,
that we approved last time, and there were schemes listed in that report which were going to be funded, which were part of the first tranche.
Yeah.
And then I think there's another 1.5 million, which is for the next financial year. Are you talking about future proposals, Councillor?
The one what we talked about, where it was all broken down in different headings, Moses Gate Park, etc.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you may recall I made one or two comments, and we were told, oh, this has been to the senior leadership team. We've had a good natter about it, and we asked some questions, but somebody didn't seem to ask the officers who actually deliver it. Because when I thought, oh, I'll maybe get this bridge replaced,
right,
using one of the fun pots, officer came back and said, what money?
Well,
so I'm sorry, it appears to me that senior leadership team didn't talk to the people who are actually going to deliver the damn things.
Right, well, I mean, repairing of a bridge was not part of that approval. But
it's definitive footpaths, actually, actor.
Okay,
100,000.
Yeah, absolutely. But we might be able to pick this up outside this meeting, David. So if you want to email it to me and or send it to John and copy me in, then we can take it from there.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Great. Any other questions or comments on monitoring of exec cabinet member decisions? No. If not, we'll move to the second item on the agenda, which is the proposed lease, Blackrod Community Centre and Vicarage Road, Blackrod playing fields. And just before I bring Justin in, I just wanted to say that I have spent quite a lot of time on this project over the last sort of 6-7 months, and I'm really pleased to see this report, and we are making positive progress going ahead. I'm sure Councillor Grant will have something to say on this as well. So, Justin?
Well, it gives me great pleasure to hand the matter over to Zoe Hobson, Policy and Partnerships Manager, who works in my team. Zoe and her team have sort of been working diligently with the tenant at Blackrod Community and Sports Centre. So, yeah, thank you, Councillor. Thank you, Chair. I'd like to hand this now to Zoe and she can present the report. Thank you.
Yeah, Zoe, over to you.
Yeah, thank you everyone. So we are seeking the consideration of the grant of a new lease of Blackrod Community Centre and Vicarage Road playing fields over a 20-year term to the trustees of Blackrod Sports and Community Centre. We're looking at an initial step rent model at 5 years, stepping then up to market rent at year 5, with further rent reviews being built into the remaining term over that 20-year period. The current community centre is occupied at the moment by the charity, and we're looking to formalise that position. This will allow them to unlock funding and secure more investment into the property over that term. It will retain the use of the property as existing as a community centre, car parking and grass play pitches to the rear, which will retain the continuity of provision at the site, whilst also protecting the playing field asset to the rear for the use of the community there. Okay. We had valuation obtained, which suggested £12,000 per annum, and you'll see the structure of the rent stepped model for that first 5 years is set out in the report. They will be taking on all repairs and maintenance liability at the site, as well as all responsibility for rates, etc., over the term, which removes this from the council. They have invested significant money over their existing years at the property, which can be seen through the good condition of the asset. And therefore we do support, a good tenant continuing their tenure there and continuing to invest in the property. We have discussed the playing fields asset with our green space team, who have provided some clauses around protecting that asset to make sure, for example, it isn't fenced off and that the community continue using that area. We therefore seek for approval for the granting of the 20-year lease to the trustees as set out in the report. Councillor Grant.
Thank you. Thanks, Zoe. Councillor Grant?
Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to say thank you and congratulations to Zoe, Justin and all the team for finally getting this over the line. It's good to see these leases that we've been fighting for a long time finally coming through. Needless to say, the work that David and Anne and the committee there over the years, bearing in mind this was supposed to be, well, earmarked for demolition at one point for housing, they turned a decrepit building into a really viable community asset, and most of the events they put on there are completely free to the community. It's a great facility, and I'm finally glad to see that we've got the lease issues resolved. Hopefully we can move forward with the possibility of the mugger on there now, because that was the thing that was holding it up. But thank you to everybody for getting it over the line and ensuring for at least for the next 20 years this remains at the heart of the Blackrod community. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Grant. I do not see any other hands, so I am happy to approve this paper as recommended on page 9 of the report. So thank you. Moving on, we have a confidential item. Are you stopping recording, Ricky, now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm done. It's not stopped yet.